Successful men don't burn out. So let's talk about the art of fading out. How successful men actually keep and avoid burning out. Burnout is common. It's a common challenge for many driven men who push themselves relentlessly towards success. Yet, men manage to sustain their achievements without hitting the wall. They don't crash suddenly. Instead, they fade out gradually, adjusting their pace and priorities before exhaustion takes over. This approach helps them to maintain long-term success while preserving their well-being and their mental stability. Understand how successful men avoid burnout by fading out offers a valuable lesson to anyone who's aiming to balance their ambitions and their health and their happiness. Recognizing the warning signs early is something that actually helps. Burnout rarely applies overnight or rarely appears overnight. It builds slowly through stress, fatigue, emotional depletion. Successful men who avoid burnout learn to recognize the early signs, the early warning signs that can keep them from burning out. Persistently tired despite rest, loss of emotion or motivation and enthusiasm, increased instability or frustration, difficulty concentrating or making decisions, physical symptoms like headaches and sore muscles. These are things that actually show up, and those are signs that you ought to recognize when you become to that point to where you may be coming close to burnout. So learning from that and adjusting. By tuning into these signals, what happens is that you can take action before burnout becomes overwhelming. Ignoring these signs often leads to sudden collapse, but fading out means slowing down gradually and understanding what's in front of you. Adjusting goals and expectations. One key to fading out successfully is redefining what success means over time. Early in most people's careers, what ends up happening is that many men chase ambition, they chase goals with intense focus. Over time, they shift in their priorities to include balance and sustainability. This might mean something in the long of settling for more realistic deadlines, actually delegating tasks to trusted team members or family members, asking or saying no, basically saying no to additional commitments that don't align with your goals and or values. Focus on quality rather than quantity of work. A lot of people want to talk about they worked X amount of hours. Well, were those X amount of hours work that actually helped you, or they work that actually drained from you? The person that works an 80-hour week is probably working ineffectively, and they're working more for their ego and braggadociousness than they are to actually fulfill the needs that they need to and to reach the goals that they want to reach. But again, a lot of it is a mindset. We've been taught to work, 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 not realizing that it's more about the quality of work than actually anything else. So, building a support system. Successful men who face these challenges are successful men who fade out effectively. They don't isolate themselves. They build strong support systems that include family, friends, mentors, sometimes professional coaches and or therapists. So let's talk about creating that type of network. That network is something that needs to give you some emotional support during stressful periods, honesty and honest feedback on workloads and behavior, and of course, encouragement to take breaks when you need to prioritize your own care. Having people who understand the pressure of success helps men to avoid the trap of pushing too hard and pushing too hard alone. So, prioritizing rest and recovery. Rest is not a luxury, it's a necessity. It's a necessity for sustaining success. Men who avoid burnout make rest a priority. How do they do this? They do this by scheduling regular downtime and vacations. by practicing mindfulness or meditation to reduce stress, by engaging in physical activities that promote relaxation, like walks, yoga, or maybe some other type of training that might be something that they really get a lot of pleasure out of, and fulfillment. Ensuring quality sleep every night is another thing that's very important. These habits help to replenish your energy and improve your focus, and also help you while working on more effective things and less draining. Because then the things that you do are going to be things that are going to help you to take yourself to the next level in your business, in your relationship, in your family. Also, embracing flexibility and change. Fading out means accepting that change is part of growth. Successful men adapt this. And how do they adapt this? They adapt this by exploring new interests and or hobbies outside of work, transitioning to less demanding roles or projects, adjusting daily routines and reducing pressure, or daily routines that reduce pressure, being open to redefining their identity beyond career achievements. The other thing that they do is work on trying to sustain an identity that actually fits them. A lot of us, as we grow older, the person that got us to A is not going to get us to D. So what we have to do is we have to adjust ourselves and understand that growth is required, because things change. That's just the way life is. So let's look at some practical steps to fading out without losing momentum. Here are some actionable tips for men who want to avoid burnout by fading out. Create a phased plan to reduce your overload gradually over months and or years. Communicate openly with colleagues, friends, family in how you want to change your priorities and about changing the priorities that are presently in front of you. Set boundaries around work hours and availability. You can't be available all the time. You need time for yourself so that you can recoup, so that you can adjust, and so that you can be the best person that you want to be and were meant to be. Focus on tasks that bring satisfaction and delete and or eliminate the rest. Invest in personal growth through learning, traveling, and new experiences. Sometimes we need a new environment to help us boost ourselves to the next level. Also, keep in mind that these steps maintain a sense of purpose while easing pressure within you. Again, if this was something that helps you or you feel that you got something out of this, please like, share, and follow. Also, visit us at mrzinspires.com. We'd love to talk with you. Take care, be well, and again, you have a great day. Thank you.